All right, we're going to do some Dokuman cards. Look at this. Man, we're going to learn everything we need to know, guys.
I've been waiting.
We've been waiting
to know what the heck Shadrin is.
Pronunciation. Shadrin.
Shadrin. All right. He's card number 12. Shadrin. What does it say about Shadrin? Where do you think he comes from? Does he come from Earth? Does he come from space? We'll find out. Real name, unknown. Height, 8'5". Weight, 600 pounds. Birthplace, unknown. You can't even give me his fucking birthplace. Why? Why have these cards if you're not going to actually tell me things, right? Not everyone can have unknown. You can't just keep putting unknowns. You're the guy. You're Dokuman. You're the mystical guy. You should know. Real name, not applicable, right? He doesn't. Shadrin is his real name.
Parts unknown.
Real name Shadrin.
Yeah, you put parts unknown. The deepest part of space. I still say the comment.
Mankind's fears, darkest fear. You know, you're like.
Yeah, this is all from my guy in the insect, Super Tizo. You're welcome, chat. My article is done before 12:30, so you can understand why it took so long to write. These cards killed me.
God,
we're gonna see, because man, they named him Shadrin in Florida. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so we don't know his real name, and he doesn't speak. So Shadrin is the name that they came up with, like the newspaper or somebody came up with this name, right? Can you explain the logic Eric used when he decided to make these trading cards not trading card size? PTP convinced them bigger cards, so they're more easily visible.
Yeah, that's PTP's idea. Brilliant.
His real name is Chad Rand. It's Mr. Rand to you. All right, so the Juggernaut, known as Shadrin, is the reason Isom retired. Or rather, his beating an innocent to a bloody pulp while he was unable to save her was his true motivation. What the fuck? Oh my God, this doesn't make any.
Zoom in more if you can.
The writing on this is so retarded. Okay. The Juggernaut, known as Shadrin, is the reason Isom retired. Comma. Or rather, his beating an innocent to a bloody pulp while he was unable to save her was his true motivation.
It feels like a run-on.
What? It's a run-on, but also, okay, so you have Shadrin and Isom, okay? Those are the two proper nouns. The reason Isom retired, or rather, his beating an innocent to a bloody pulp while he was unable to save her was his true motivation. Who's his? Who is the his?
Who is exactly? Who?
Is
so
Isom
would you say his? The problem with writing is the fucking pronouns?
Yes, it should say the Juggernaut known as Shadrin is the reason Isom retired, or rather, Shadrin's beating an innocent to a bloody
Isom retired
while Isom was unable to save her. Right?
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
you have to put proper nouns somewhere. You can't put like
3 or 4
people's names. It's not hand holding. It's grammar.
It's English, and I'm a foreigner.
Pronouns.
Sentence give me a stroke. One card in, and we're like, man. You never forget the first person whom you are wholly mismatched to fight, and how truly helpless that feels. Whom you are wholly mismatched to fight.
I hear you never forget your first, but you know I've never had one.
It should be you never forget the first person you fight whom you are wholly mismatched against. That's how it should read. Now, you don't go who you're wholly mismatched to fight. I wonder if he still hears her scream. Who's he? This is a card about Shadrin. This is a Shadrin card. Why are we talking about Isom? I know it's Isom because I fight Isom too. But other people would go,
somebody who doesn't know what the hell is going on. They'll think, okay, Shadrin is the one crying about the woman or the girl.
See those terrified eyes. What terrified eyes? He had his hand over his head.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Those pathetic pleas for help. Okay, so the way this is written isn't the way the story was. She wasn't like, help me, Isom, please help me. And he's like crushing her head, right? Like, he was just like,
in a split second.
Yeah. There was no cry. There was no, like, her looking at you with pleading eyes.
She will be now, just like how Yaira is next to Isom in the car and says, don't follow me to Isom. But that didn't happen in Isom once. It happened in Yaira. Yeah. So now when we see the death blow again, it'll be this new narrative. Which,
oh my God, half of this card is dedicated to Isom. Staring back at him, those pathetic pleas for help before that horrible moment haunting him wherever he goes. Maybe to finally put her soul at rest, he must continue his vocation to fight evil and protect the innocent. Shadrin's a superhero now? Because again, this is Shadrin's card. Why are you telling me about Isom's motivations, Isom's anything? It should be the Juggernaut known as Shadrin is the reason Isom retired. He's a monster that killed a lady and then killed a whole bunch of other people. And he like raped a bunch of ladies or some shit. Like I should be talking about Shadrin's accomplishments. Shadrin's feelings.
A rap sheet. You gotta. I always write in the style of it's wrestling. So you gotta book this. You gotta put over this heel. Like this is the video package that's gonna play before the monster heel debuts about how he can crush a car in his bare hands and he's immune to bullets and nothing can stop him. And how can Isom will defeat this man when they confront him? Like you gotta hype it up. This is all for saying that Isom has no motivation. It's like, here's the card that's Isom motivations, bud.
Yeah, why is he calling her pleas for help pathetic? Dokuman dissing everyone. Yeah. Shadrin is unaffected by the damage he has caused. He swats those who dare stand against him like flies to their death. A true nightmare-inducing monster. Unraveling the mysteries behind his identity will be the secret to defeating him. Again, why does Dokuman not know shit? However, should history repeat itself, it is more than likely that Shadrin will be the reason for a much more permanent retirement for Isom. So, is Isom going to die in Isom 3? Is Shadrin going to kill Isom? That's, oh my god. He's going to do it. He's going to do Death of Superman. He's going to do Death of Superman.
Death of Superman, yep.
Snyderverse, remember.
Is, what the hell's his name?
Doomsday.
Doomsday, yeah. Eric's cards destroyed my brain. I couldn't remember Doomsday. Shadrin's Doomsday, and Isom's going to kill him. They're going to die together. And he's like, well, see, what it is it was ill-advised for Isom to fight Shadrin the second time. And that's why there's going to be no more Isom books. It has nothing to do with the ministry or anything like that. Power observation. Nearly invulnerable to physical attack. He seems more surprised than anything when he is attacked. He speaks an otherworldly language that hides his true motivations. Considering his unspeakable savage actions in going after his targets, he is pure evil. One might even say demonic. He's demonic.
Wow. For killing one girl. All right.
No, he's going to be in the Hell Monkey world. That's where Isom's going to find him. He can easily crush an Except skull with one hand. Why an Except skull? Are they different from human skulls?
Well, so that woman that he killed was an Except then.
What I'm saying, like, he's saying it as if like Excepts are like by default have like stronger skulls, right? Like if I said, hey, he could crush a bull skull, right? You're like, oh yeah, bulls have bigger heads, bigger skulls than humans, right? So crushing a bull skull would be an impressive feat. But an Except is just a human with powers, not necessarily denser bones. It doesn't morally affect him to kill women. He enjoys it. Curiously, his hair appears to be impenetrable. ...
His hair?
You don't really know anything. You're the worst documenting guy ever, Dokuman.
That means you can't cut his hair, Riley. His hair is impenetrable.
All right. Really? All right. So Sydney Bloodruth.
Bloodruth's dragon looking like Fin Fang Foom for some reason.
Her real name is Sydney Bloodruth. Her height 5'9", her weight 132. Birthplace Victory, Texas. What the now he's making another. So we had a second city. First appearance, Isom number 2, June 2023. The youngest child and only daughter of the mysterious Bloodruth family bloodline.
How are you the youngest child and only daughter?
Well, you could because you're the youngest.
Yeah, because you have brothers. Yeah. Even Tizo realized he made that mistake.
All right, we'll give them a pass.
But you don't need family and bloodline. Obviously, if you're putting bloodline, they would be family. You can't be part of a bloodline without being family, right?
Family.
I can see you. I can see you saying, "Well, I need bloodline because there might be people in her family that are adopted, right?" So I could say, "Okay, so just get rid of the family, leave the bloodline." Sydney Bloodruth is an Except like no other. Known as a blood witch. How could she be known as a blood witch? She's like no other. There should be no word for her, right? She uses her blood to cast spells that seem only limited by her occult knowledge. Though much stronger than your average mortal, she is limited by the blood within her body and must take time to recover after strenuous use of her gifts. Sydney fascinates me as she's one of the few who know of and has traveled to different planes of existence, not parallel dimensions, because we don't do that. Yeah, we don't do that here in the Rippaverse. Like me. She doesn't trust easily, but has gained the respect of 2 shadow wolves and a dragon, which appear to be treasures kept from her otherworldly travels.
Forgot the eagle.
Yeah, and the alligator. She recently left her home in favor of an enigmatic magical castle in Florspark. Enigmatic magical castle in Florspark. It's because it's like crooked. Tiza, why did you take these pictures crooked?
Oh yeah, that's the reason.
I gotta hold my head at a weird angle. After a family tragedy, I must keep an eye on her, as her unexpected arrival may change everything. Again, this one isn't as bad as the last one, but it is infuriating. Okay. Explain what a shadow wolf is, Mr. Mystical Guy. I don't know what a shadow wolf is. Tell me, as the reader. Why is dragon capitalized? Shadow wolf makes sense because that seems to be a thing, right? But a dragon is not. Like it was like a fire dragon or a mystical dragon or
a proper noun. Or like if it was like the term for a dragon, that type of dragon is like a Dargan or something, or like a dragoon, or something like
that. Also, do these things have names? If they have names, you could put like the respective 2 shadow wolves, yin and yang, and a dragon.
Bud and Lou.
Big Bill Dragon dude, right? Give them names, personalities.
But he doesn't know anything.
Yeah, her wolves, Nick and Knack, right? And the dragon named Paddywhack.
Give that frog a bone. That's a Rolling Stone.
After a family tragedy, you obviously know what happened. Tell us, like after her dad died, after her brother committed suicide, whatever it is. Why? There's no reason to hide this from the reader, right? You don't have to go into detail saying after her dad died. And you're like, oh, why is that so important? Let me put that in my mental bank for later, right? Family tragedy. That could be anything. Did the house burn down? Did grandma get her car repossessed? Her brother got deported? A lot of things could be a family tragedy, right? Didn't get that bank loan?
Out. NDA.
Power observation. Blood magic that is limited to the amount of blood in her body. Bloodruth can manipulate her own blood. Well, thank you for using the word blood like 12 times. Most often emitting from beneath her nail beds and releasing from her fingertips. The limits and extent of these abilities are still a mystery to me. Everything's a mystery to you.
Everything's a mystery, yeah.
But have you witnessed her using her blood to light up her path, cast spells? What kind of spells? And create solid objects? No, she didn't. She made objects that she could barely stand on. I have also seen her use her powers on the blood of others to learn their secrets. How long to learn hers? I think that's what it says.
How long to learn? Yeah. Hers. Oh, how long? Okay. I was reading that weird too.
Okay, so here's a question. If her power is limited by her blood, can she do like what the hell is that cyclist? Lance Armstrong? Can she do a Lance Armstrong and like blood dope? Like take blood out, let her body regenerate, and then shoot herself with extra blood so she's like super powerful that day? Right? Uh-oh. This is what I
the wench, the gay lover.
Samford Willard. Just put Willard. Why?
Oh, the names.
Willis
and
or anything.
And Samford.
Samford and Son.
Samford and Son, yeah.
Samford Willard. Real name, Samford Willard. Well, thank you. That tells me space.
Real name.
Height, 6 foot. Weight, 205.
Is he horseman?
First appearance, ice on them. That's the clue. You found it because he's on a horse. He's the horseman.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. Look.
This farmhand piqued my interest while he was employed by Isom's alter ego, Avery. Why didn't you just say Avery Silman?
Whoa.
Again, you're giving us more information about Isom in a card that's not about Isom, right? And resided at the Excep's ranch hidden away in Shadow Valley. As a worker, he is dependable, loyal, and strong-bodied. He is devoted to Isom, though I do not know what created this bond between them. How is he devoted to Isom?
Gay relationship.
He's gay.
Also, yes, but okay. You made the point to say that he was employed by Isom's alter ego, but then he's devoted to Isom, not devoted to Avery. It's like you're making a point to make a distinction, like if Avery has a secret identity, like if Sam doesn't know that he's Isom, right? It's like saying Lois Lane works with Superman's alter ego, Clark Kent, but she's really in love with Superman. And you go, okay, she thinks they're different people. That's why you would say it that way, right? But he knows he's Isom. He's just like, yeah, Isom. He works on Isom's ranch, and he's super devoted to Isom. What brought this man to work here is of intrigue to me, as Isom rarely surrounds himself with those he does not deeply trust. I must uncover their. What the is this guy doing? Dokuman. Bobby.
Dokuman, come on. Yeah.
Did you just show up to this universe and start eating fries and like hanging out with chicks at the mall or something? Like, what the fuck? You don't know shit.
Like, is he not able to, can he look back in time too? Like, or is just the idea is like, well, I missed my opportunity to look, so I guess I'll just have to wing it. Like,
yeah, he's like, well, I don't have time travel powers. I'm just starting to look right now. I just started last week, guys. Get off my case. I'm playing catch up.
The other guy before me didn't write nothing down. Hard.
I must uncover their history, as their future has shifted after a chance encounter with subterranean devilings. Oh man, so they're not hell monkeys, they're devilings. Samford was changed, though how and into what is too soon to tell. After a brief disappearance, he was recovered and observed with glowing incantations across his back. He feels different, no longer human. He feels, now you can feel things. Is there a Dokuman card? Because I'm confused as to what Dokuman
card for Dokuman, you mean?
Yeah. My name's Dokuman. My powers are mysterious. I'm not sure what I can do.
I don't even know myself.
I know things. I kind of know things, but I'm not sure.
He has to go to therapy in order to learn himself.
They would be like first appearance, Dokuman cards.
Yeah, horseman confirmed.
Could it be that I'm not the only one observing these excepts? Does another attempt to change the game by altering the rules? Oh man! So Dokuman is actually going to be like the game master or like one of the elders of the universe,
the grandmaster, whatever.
Yeah,
because the Hell Monkey King is going to be
Mephisto.
Well, I say the Hell Monkey King is going to be like the guy, I guess, that's going to be the big bad or something. Like who cares?
Robco guy says, "Don't know, man. Don't know, man. Doesn't know much." All right. Power observation. Samford is no longer human. I am unsure if he has become an except. Glowing marks have appeared and vanished again from his back in a language that is unknown to me. Some great power has been placed within him, but for what purpose? Them hell monkeys raped him, didn't they? That's jizz. That's hell monkey jizz on his back. They jizzed on him.
They pulled out.
Disgusting. That man was raped. That's what happens in prison. And could you imagine? It's hell monkey prison, so it's got to be like extra rape. There was a whole bunch of them. They haven't seen a white boys in a long time. That he was there for a while.
You got a pretty mouth. Like the hell monkey goes, I likes you and I wants you. Now we can do this the easy way or the hard way.
But for what purpose? A pawn in the game has become a piece worth playing. He is in peak physical condition from manual labor with outstanding endurance, making him a key candidate for this new transformation. Okay, Dokuman, you literally said you had no idea what powers he got. So how would you know he was a key candidate for this? You don't even know what the transformation is. You have no clue what's going on, but you're like, yeah, he's obviously a perfect candidate for whatever it is, this thing that I don't know what's happening.
What it is, he is.
Obviously, they picked him because he's awesome, and that makes sense to me. What's your problem? Who the fuck are you? I walked Bob Dylan on the stage. I observed Isom on his ranch. Who the fuck is you?
I've been watching Yaira since it was the 1400s. Who the fuck you?
Yeah.
I made cards about Lincoln Eusebio.
This isn't Lincoln. This is like the third version of Lincoln. This doesn't look like the Isom 1 Lincoln. This doesn't look like the Yaira Lincoln.
Maybe they explain it. He has the ability to de-age himself.
Lincoln Eusebio. Real name, Lincoln Eusebio. Look, again, and this is a fault of Eric's. If you just called him Lincoln, right, and he's like Lincoln, and they're like real name, Lincoln Eusebio, then it would make sense. But it's just like Lincoln Eusebio, real name, Lincoln. Like, okay, you repeated this like several times on cards. Like Shadrin is the only one who had a different name, and that was unknown, right? Theoretically, his name could be Shadrin, for all we know.
Lincoln Eusebio, real name like Brian George, like Brian Johnson.
First appearance, Isom number 2. Birthplace, Florence Park. Weight 200. Height 6'2". When his employees are in danger, he will physically get in the way, even though he's surrounded by his security. Are you just recapping what happened?
Yeah.
Has this happened multiple times? You're making it sound like his employees are in danger a lot. And he's constantly like getting in there, like fighting people to save his employees. Lincoln Eusebio is not who you would expect to be the founder of Projexis. I don't know what I would expect to be the founder. Like. Well, when I say, hey, Wizard, what do you think the founder of Projexis would be like? Do you picture a guy like Lincoln Eusebio?
No, I picture a scientist.
Of course you don't, because he's exactly the opposite. He's not what you would expect to be the founder of Projexis. I don't know what that means. Like maybe if he was like black and like retarded and like in a wheelchair, like I didn't expect that at all. You're right. You're correct. That's the type of person I didn't expect to run a company. Right?
That that one sentence is just padding. Like it adds nothing, especially for after it.
I'm saying like if he was dressed like the Fonz or like really out there, we're like, oh, he doesn't look anything like someone who lives in Texas. Like he was a surfer dude, right? Like okay, I didn't expect him to be the founder of a company that is in Texas. He doesn't look like a scientist or a rich guy. He looks like a weird surfer dude, right? With hippie beads on. But he just looks like a guy. So look, it's just a guy. It's a guy in a shirt with pants and boots.
Cowboy Tony Stark.
Yeah, it's like he's exactly what I expect. Just some random dude that owns a building. His inspired but unorthodox approach to how he runs his company has made Projexis known as the leaders and innovators in the industry for cutting-edge technologies and transhumanism.
That was a whole sentence with no comma.
Yeah, that was a lot of things. So they're innovators, they're leaders in the industry for cutting-edge technologies. Which technologies? And transhumanism. They do cutting-edge technologies and transhumanisms.
Oh my goodness.
I don't see that. What's your problem? Makes sense to me. What could be more important to those without superhuman abilities themselves during such uncertain times? Just say Projexis is Project Jesus. They're bringing Jesus back to life. That's it. Just say that. Also, again, I can't stress this enough. Is this a card about Projexis or is this a card about Lincoln? Right? And I get this as a writer. You sometimes start writing as a writer. You start doing things and you're talking about the character, and then you somehow start talking about his job or his other abilities or his family.
Yeah, you want to put in some. Yeah, you want to put in some world building. You're like, well, now that I'm talking about this, throw this in there.
You should really focus on Lincoln. You'd be like, hey, he graduated high school at the age of 10. He got his master's degree at 15. He's super smart, Tony Stark guy, right? That's interesting things that you could put in there.
Because remember, Yaira is also a scientist at Projexis. So is
and then
what's her face?
You would have like world cards, and it'd be like, here's Projexis, here's Florence Park, here's Avery's Ranch, here's you know, that the locations and all that. World building cards.
Marvel used to do that. They'd be like the Baxter building. They would give you details about the building, or like the Doom's castle and stuff. And again, you could sell more cards that way, Eric. Look how many more cards you can get out of this.
It all flows better. And you could fill this with mindless stuff about his childhood, and it would be fine. It wouldn't matter. You'd be like, oh, cool. You know, like all you got to do is just copy what's been done. Like it's worked.
You know, as a child, he was saved by an Except. Not having abilities himself, he always dreamed of one day being able to give other humans that ability. Going to school, he dedicated himself to science and graduated early. Going to college, he got a master's degree at the age of 19, stunning the entirety of the nation of Texas at his advancements and his ability to think outside the box. And dedicating his life to creating superhumans that were not Excepts, right? Like, look at all that shit I wrote, and I don't even fucking know anything.
His brother was paralyzed in the war for Texas's secession, and so he's worked tirelessly to use Projexus as a way to give his brother his ability to walk back, or something, using the transhumanism things of Projexus. You know, like anything. We're both better writers than Eric, and I suck.
What could be more important to those without superhuman abilities themselves during such uncertain times? Lincoln is a futurist, just like Tony Stark, and a philanthropist, just like Tony Stark, on the surface. But the world-changing actions of Projexus seem to be more self-serving. Corporations work outside borders with the cooperation of different countries' governments. And Projexus is making a lot of friends. The only question is, why? A man full of dreams and ambition. I wonder what the source of his endless financial resources. Who are his allies, and what are their interests? I don't know, Dokuman. Tell me. Why are you asking me questions in the card?
I'm asking you.
Hey, Tony. I'm new to this world. My name's Dokuman. Do you know who Lincoln Eusebio is? Do you know who's bankrolling him? This is Eric's way of saying he's Lincoln. He's like, who's really bankrolling the Rippaverse guys? Where am I getting all these resources from?
The villainous man donating money to Projexus. His name is Ben Gleck.
Genius levels of intelligence matched with what seems like a military level of training. What seems like? You're not sure.
I don't know.
Why can't you just say he was trained? Military training. He received military training. He shows no signs of being an Except, but what he lacks in superhuman powers, he makes up for in gumption, in moxie. In tech and resourcefulness. Lincoln has all of Projexus and his massive wealth, which allows him to live like a king as a titan of industry. Man,
another Eric self-insert.
How many? I thought Gooding was Iron Man, but it sounds like this guy's Iron Man.
I hope
he's like a little bit Batman, a little bit Iron Man.
Yeah, I hope they address that in Gooding. Like he hates, like, I hate Lincoln. Guy's like a fucking, you know, like we're like rivals or something. That'd be cool. That'd be interesting.
Yeah. All right, what else we got going? Oh man, we get to hear about Gelvin. Why has he got a lowercase g? Why is Gelvin? What the hell's going on here? So Lincoln, all capital letters. Samford, all capital. Sydney's all capitals.
There's a typo.
I'm guessing Shadrin's going to be all capital. How do you make that typo though? It's the first. I can see if like one of the last letters was typoed that way, because like you're not used to like just put the caps lock on before you write that. Like,
unless that's on purpose, I'll have to see though.
And to talk about the art a little bit, those feet are looking strange.
They're kind of webbed. They're a little.
Yeah, he has frog feet.
Blobbish. Yeah.
Feet are hard to do sometimes.
They should put a rock in front of it.
Yeah, so that lowercase
g. Yes.
That lowercase g is on purpose. Then it says Gelvin. That's like his.
No, because Gelvin. No,
because that's his. Yeah, it's like that's a superhero name. Is a lowercase g Gelvin.
Is it? No, because Gelvin right here is Gelvin is prone to.
Yeah, but that's also his name though. So that's
no. You can't like this is his name here, but this is his not name. No,
I don't know.
This is a fuck. This is 100%. They fuck on Gelvin here.
There's no way.
Here. Yeah, there's no way. Everything else is capitalized. There's no way. I refuse to believe that. And it doesn't even look like a G. You know why I know it's a mistake? Because it's way up here. G's are here and down. A G hangs below the line. Yeah, it's 9.
Yeah, it's 9
Not even a G.
Well, that's definitely his name.
Gelvin James. Height 5'10", weight 165. Birthplace Flores Park, Texas.
At least it's a normal last name.
Alpha Core. November. Why is he giving? I don't understand why he's giving dates. Hold on, let me check something real quick. I don't like that. That's like, why is there so much space here? Right? Like, look at all this space. It's bad typesetting. Like this gap, it's almost like a double space.
Yeah, like I understand, like for the readability of the cards, but it's for like every space is like weird.
Especially because Texas, like Flores Park, is like almost like right there on the edge.
Yeah, that's when it looks the weird. If it's before the colon, the double space is fine. But yeah, for like that Alpha Core number 1, comma, then space, big space, November 20. You know, like that look weird.
All right. Man, stop being nitpicky. So mean. Incompetent with the lowercase I. Someone forgot they had caps lock on. That's probably what it was. They forgot they had caps lock on. They hit the shift for the G. Didn't realize it.
But like, where's the quality control, people? Like, come on.
The G isn't that way in Volume 1 either. Yeah, see? All right. This except is extremely dangerous given his commendable. I can't do this. Why is his power commendable? Is this a word Eric heard and just thought he was going to put it in there? Like,
yeah, word of the day.
Like, if his thesaurus for great showed commendable, he's like, that's a good word. That's a big word for great. I'll put it in there.
No, commendable, deserving praise.
Yeah,
that's what commendable means.
Like you could,
his power is deserving. Why does his power deserve praise?
Yeah, like I said, like I'm sure thesaurus.com would list commendable as a synonym for great, but just context is different. Like it's connotation.
What he should, Eric, Bubby. If you would have put shocking, that would have actually been clever. Given his shocking powers, because he has electricity powers. See how easy it is to write that? You're like, oh yeah, that's funny. That's a little clever. It's a little cheeky, right?
Dokuman does not do puns.
Dokuman is serious all the time. His commendable powers and Gelvin's willingness to lend them out to whoever is happy to pay him handsomely. Only handsomely. Look at like this. Like, it's just all that space. Because he really wanted simple-minded. Look, when you have something like this, get rid of simple-minded, just put a dumb creature.
Yeah.
Right? Because then you could have moved everything over and shifted things. Because this just looks retarded. So you had this A,
or
this huge.
Or put the space before the A, so you kick A down.
Or you could have get A simple. You could have got simple there, dash minded, because the dash is still in between the two.
Yeah,
it still would have worked.
A very simple man.
Because that's what you do. Like if you put manipulation, you would put manipu, and then you put dash and then lation to let you know that the word continues on the next line because it didn't fit. A simple-minded creature. Gelvin is prone to manipulation and emotional outbursts. Okay, that doesn't mean what you think it means, Eric. I'm assuming Eric wrote these. Gelvin is prone to being manipulated because he's simple-minded. Gelvin is prone to manipulation means that Gelvin's doing the manipulating.
Manipulates people. I was going to say that manipulation and emotional outbursts don't go together, because I feel like if you were a cold calculating manipulator, you wouldn't have emotional outbursts.
Yeah, so it should be he's prone to being manipulated and having emotional outbursts that brings him much unwanted attention and trouble. He became of interest to me when a run-in with the law pitted him against Braxwell of the Alpha Corps.
Oh my God. That's what made it interesting to Dokuman.
Alpha Corps.
Yeah, it shouldn't be the Alpha, it should be of Alpha Corps. Braxwell of Alpha Corps. A battle he was destined to lose. Why was he destined to lose it?
I can see the future now. I can't see the past, though. Only the present and the future.
But if it was, he's saying it like a run-in, like it's happenstance, but he was destined to lose it, which means it wasn't happenstance, right?
Or he's just, Braxwell's so cool because he's Brandon, bud.
However, Gelvin is resourceful, as he found himself in the employ of one Michael Copper. That doesn't... Michael Copper's guy approached Gelvin. That doesn't make Gelvin resourceful. Gelvin didn't manipulate the situation or didn't figure out how to contact Michael Copper. Like, that just happened. That doesn't make him resourceful. Like, surviving in the wilderness because you know how to, like, what plants to eat and stuff. That's resourceful. Going off in the jungle and finding a crate full of food is not resourceful. It's just good luck. Look how resourceful I am. I figured out how to go to the grocery store. No, Tony, you just went to the grocery store. You're not resourceful. Makes my head hurt. like people gave him money for this, and you go, I try so hard, but why do I try? Why do I try when I can just shit things out like this? Gelvin may be a pawn, but his incredible shock powers. Now the incredible shock and abilities to emit stored energy from within his body through his fingertips will keep him as a main player in this grand game. He died. He's dead.
Oh, you think?
He went out the window.
He might come back to life. You never know.
Could you imagine you get these cards? You haven't read Alpha Corps yet, right? But you get, oh man, this guy sounds badass. I'm dead. He's dead. You sold me that this guy's gonna be a main player. I was all invested in Gelvin. Whoever wrote these cards, they're like in a different division. They're in a different side of the warehouse, right? They're like somewhere else that Eric didn't know about. Like,
I have to read.
Unlike others, I have observed he has no morals, making him a lethal and chaotic wild card indeed. He's a wild card.
The mammoth.
Power observation. Gelvin is able to transmit powerful electrical energy and surges from his fingertips.
Surges?
Electrical energy and surges. Electrical surges. Which
there's a lot of like
electrical energy and surges.
Like earlier with his incredible shock powers and ability to emit stored energy. It's like you don't just say electric powers. You don't need to double up everything.
Yes. Just say electricity. Gelvin is able to transmit powerful electrical currents from his fingertips. It's real simple. Go get the Electro card from Marvel and just copy what it says there. Change a few words. No.
Live wire.
Yeah. The colors vary. There was no. What do you mean that they were all yellow? There was no. He's dead, so I don't know if the colors vary. But in his appearance, they were all the same color. Unless this is Eric's like, hey, put in the colors vary that way in case when we draw. But he wants to continue. The colors vary. I wonder what the meaning is behind this and how it affects his powers. He is not, however, able to create electricity. Gelvin must come into contact with a direct source of energy to be able to use his gifts. A source of energy or a source of electricity? See, these are two different things, Eric. Energy is the sun, heat, fire. Can he touch fire and then shoot electricity? Is that how it works? Can he run, make kinetic energy, and then shoot electricity?
Steal electricity from people's nerves?
No, because he can't create any electricity. Does he drink a monster? That's got energy. It's monster energy.
Yeah, like calories in general. If he eats, his body would create energy from himself.
He's a static bender. All this information contradicts all 4 Rippaverse books.
He runs his feet on the carpet really fast. That's why he's barefoot, so he can build up static electricity.
He's just so dumb, isn't he? Like, he thinks he's being clever and smart, but he's just so
no one tells him. Idiot. Yeah.
You got to remember, he's building a sandbox, Tony. This is sandbox in action.
A direct source of it, like, again, energy and electricity are not the same. Move on.
And also just make him able to just make electricity. What does it matter?
Okay, what the f is this? This looks nothing like the character from the comic, Billy Bob. I know who it was, but this isn't Billy Bob.
The overalls were the giveaway, but done.
Billy Bob. Real name, Billy Bob Quinn. See, again,
hang on a moment.
Doesn't anyone have
Bubba? His nickname is Bubba, right? It should be Bubba up here, and then real name Billy Bob.
Bubba Q, like people like Bubba Q, real name Billy Bob Quinn.
Or it should have just been BBQ. And no one has any cool superhero or villain names. What's your super villain name? Dr. Doom. What's your super villain name? The Abomination. How about you? Man-Bat. You? Billy Bob. No. What's your super villain name? Billy Bob.
At least criminal name or serial killer name. They have those, like the Iceman.
He Billy Bob Quinn. BBQ. It literally that's why you put the initials. He's BBQ, like a barbecue. Just his name is BBQ. It's like the Shocker. Like, no, don't call me the Shocker. That's what your people call me. The Except, a hillbilly man simply named Billy Bob Quinn. Okay, again, Eric, do you not know what the words mean? Okay, now I'm getting mad. A hillbilly man simply named Billy Bob Quinn is not simple. A hillbilly man simply named Billy would make sense. One name. He's simple. He's a simple man with one name.
A simple name.
He's simply named. It's one name. Cher, Wolverine, Logan. Billy Bob Quinn. Not simple. It's pretty complicated. It's 3 names. Captured my curiosity after a recent match with none other than Alpha Core's leader, Brian Solari. He was amazingly able to hold his own with his extraordinary fire powers. He can emit flames of extreme degrees from the palms of his hands, strong enough to stop Solari in his tracks. Billy Bob rents out his awesome abilities, and his powers are at the disposal of the highest bidder. It appears someone he refers to as Graham is the one overseeing setting up his jobs. Grandma. Is that his grandmother? They live together in a trailer on the outskirts of the city. I almost feel sorry for the man. Perhaps, under different circumstances, he could have just easily been led to the other side of the angels. I will continue to monitor his path, for the fiery fire will prove difficult to extinguish. Now you're trying to be funny, Dokuman.
Yeah, where's the humor? 3 cards ago.
Yeah. Power observation. Billy Bob shoots incredible flames from his hands and can withstand great heat himself. However, he is limited by the laws of physics and cannot create his fire without the presence of oxygen. Okay. I'm trying to be calm. It's taking all my energy. Okay, first off, I don't know what incredible flames are. Okay, that's not a good descriptor for powers. Saying he shoots flames that reach 10,000 degrees. That's something I can hold on to. Oh man, that sounds really impressive. He generates heat in excess of 500 degrees. Sounds cool, right? Incredible flames. They're big, they're long, they're round. What makes them incredible?
The blue, the green.
Yeah. He can withstand great heat himself. So great heat, but not all heat. So there is, like, at some point you can heat him up enough that he'll burn. You can burn him.
Throw him in the sun, he die. Like,
yeah. Okay. The laws of physics. Okay, so the laws of physics apply to him. He needs the presence of oxygen to create his fire. Don't say that, okay? Because now that you've said the laws of physics apply, where's his fire coming from? Fires burn out. Fires don't run into. You need fuel. You need 3 things for fire, right? Heat, fuel, and oxygen. So if you only have 2 of those, you don't have fire, right? So if you have no oxygen, you have no fire. You have no heat, you have no fire. You have no fuel. What is fueling his fire? He has heat and he has oxygen, but what's the fuel?
his power. He steals energy. He can steal energy from other things.
Tyler said you need pork beans.
Pork beans and beer, yeah. The plot.
Passion fuels his fire.
Like, they really all they had to leave it at was just like he is still, or logically he cannot have flame without oxygen, right? But like even then, you don't even need to say that because like Human Torch, if he's underwater without like the whole like I have that thing that makes me burn underwater thing. But like if he's underwater, there's no fire, right? It's like, well, you can't fire underwater. It's like you don't even need to say.
They put him out with the same thing, taking the oxygen out of the room, putting him in space and stuff.
That's all I gotta do. You don't even need to say it. It goes without saying. And also, like, there's no oxygen. No one's powers work. They're dead.
Everyone's dead except for Shadrin. Oh man, I wanted a card on this guy. Who's Mick Davies? Man, remember Mick Davies?
Oh,
I was like, man, Mick Davies. Out of all
the iconic character.
Iconic Mick Davies. I don't know who this is. I've read the comics. I
remember the name, but I don't know from what.
Mick Davies. Real name Mick Davies. All of them have.
No, it's not even Mick Davies. It's just Mick Davies.
Yeah, Mick Davies. That's what I said.
Yeah, like not like MC Davies. Like that's his last name. His name is Mick Davies.
MC. First appearance.
I would say it Mick Davies, like MC.
Like McDonald's, but it's Mick Davies. Is what you want.
The human long arm of the law, Mick Davies.
Shit, that's Riley's character.
One eye. Yeah.
Okay, so you don't have to say the human long arm of the law. Okay, so now are Excepts no longer human, right? Because that's what it's implying, that Excepts are no longer human. Like in the comics, mutants are not human. They're Homo superior. They're separate. Their genes have been affected. Brian was turned into an Except. So now they didn't just give him a formula that gave him powers. They gave him a formula that literally altered his DNA to turn him into another species. Do you see how stupid this sounds? But the human long arm of the law, Mick Davies, has his hands full dealing with the growing Except population of Florespark and the trouble they can bring with them. Every sentence has to be extra long for some reason.
Yeah.
Mick Davies, also, you could just call him Mick or Davies, Captain Davies.
Yeah. Officer Davies.
Yeah. Mick Davies is a decorated officer, loved by citizens, but feared by his fellow. Why do his fellow officers fear him? That's kind of a weird thing.
A little scary.
He has already had encounters with numerous Excepts, but wisely works with the Alpha Corps in more direct conflicts. Mick Davies does not appear to be an Except, although his leadership, powers of deduction, and critical thinking make him a worthy opponent. He's horseman. He is likely to have more encounters with Excepts, as those with power are often happy to follow their own laws. A police sergeant who is not afraid to. Now he's a sergeant. He went from an officer because he's a decorated officer. Fellow officers. At no point did you call him Sergeant Davies. So now he's halfway through this. He became a sergeant. He passed the test. Like he was on his way to becoming a sergeant. And he got promoted. Like boom. Like oh shit, he got promoted.
Yeah, as Dokuman was writing this, it happened.
Hold on, I have to make an addendum.
A police sergeant who's not afraid to lay down the law with Excepts and officers alike. Mick Davies and his forces work. Why, I just sound so stupid. Keep saying Mick Davies. Sergeant Davies and his forces work diligently to keep the safe and deter Excepts from running unchecked in Florespark. Mick Davies has never shown any suggestion of acceptability, though he is fearless when facing them. Is he determined to die in the line of duty, or does he have some unknown advantage against the growing Except threat? He is a skilled officer and resilient, resourceful detective. Wow. You had way too many characters that didn't have powers. Like, I need to come up with some really stupid ass shit to put in there for him. And
like you could have just had like the people with powers have powered notes, but then the other ones just have like character notes, and it's like this guy, is on the outs with his wife, or or like his son doesn't talk to him anymore, or something like just like any like random factoids.
Dokuman witnesses promotion. Yeah, Mick Davies. It's like in Lethal Weapon 4. Yeah. Wait, what's the character's name? I think it's Mick Davies. I'm not 100% on that. Good old Sergeant Mickey D's. All right, so this is obviously Stefania.
The chomp herself.
Taking it like a chomp.
The Sweet Dreams Chilled.
Those are good nicknames.
It still looks like
1,000.
11 pounds.
Yeah, Stefania. Real name Stefia Martinez. Height 5'6", weight 101, birthplace Florespark. First appearance, Yaira #1, February 2024.
That didn't happen.
Who is this street thug possessing the same powers as Yaira? I don't know. You're the Dokuman guy. I'm a card reading guy. I'm card read 'em on. I read the cards. I read documents.
Oh, you're the one asking. You're supposed to be telling us shit.
Yeah.
Read 'em on.
Has she been cursed to draw the witch out? Now, why is he calling Yaira a witch? Damn, dude.
He did that.
God damn. There's too many
witches.
Did
he do that in her card? I feel like he did that in her card, in Yaira's card.
Maybe. Or is she connected in some far deeper way? Stefania is too young to know the consequences of her actions. She's too young. She's like 20-something. Riley's too young to know the consequences of his actions, but apparently we just lock him up.
Also, he had an out, but he can't use it that the live action trailer for Yaira came out in March. Because otherwise, you could say that Stefania's first appearance was in the live action trailer. It was. That came out in March. Or when they put out that page of the clear the area and all that, they put that page out. She was in that. So technically, she did appear in February in that test page.
Already violent gangster at such an early age, but she wears a cross. Does she realize the hypocrisy of her actions? Wow, now Dokuman's like,
oh wow,
do you understand that
He's
you're
judging
Christian? Yeah, you're Christian, but you're stealing. Do you not understand the hypocrisy?
No.
Clearly,
if Dokuman exists, does the Christian God still exist? How does that work? Where's the hierarchy there?
He's in another dimension. Your God is another castle.
And also the one looks like an L Quaker. That's why it looks like 1011.
Yeah, which also or maybe go back up. You were talking about the double spaces. Did they forget to space the weight?
No.
Like the one in the
no, because if you look from far away, it looks like it, but the ones are slanted and the L has like a.
I'm just saying, like, if they just didn't space it right, or they just should have used like 102 instead, so it didn't look like it so bad.
See?
Yeah.
It's just like really close or far away.
Yeah, they should have spaced it. They just spaced it between, even just with like Photoshop, just a little.
Does she realize the hypocrisy of her actions, or is she destined to use that bloodthirst on the side of the angels? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain: she's a bomb waiting to go off. Does Brian Solari believe he can calm that vengeful rage? That vengeful rage she carries in her heart. Well, now you're just giving spoilers for Yaira number 1.
Spoilers for Yaira. Yeah.
If she does manage to master her abilities, the Super Cops. Why is this in like capitals? Is this a new team that I don't know about? Like we got Alpha Core and the Super Cops.
Yeah, that's weird. Not even in quotes. Like that's like their nickname. Like
he's not like making fun of them, like the Super Cops, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Really. We'll have someone on Yaira's power. Yeah, we'll have someone on Yaira's power level to bring her in. It is unusual for them to take a criminal into their ranks, but I'm sure she will be exceedingly popular amongst the Alpha Core. It's not so saying it's unusual implies they've done it before, right? Because unusual doesn't imply. I know what you're saying. What you want to say is this is like the first time they've ever allowed a criminal to become a member of Alpha Core, right? Which is you should just say it. You shouldn't try to be cheeky. Saying it is unusual again implies that other members of Alpha Core, whether the superpowered members or the regular Alpha Core people in the support roles, some of them used to be criminals.
It's not unusual to be loved by anyone.
Yeah, TJ got his singing. For those of you that wanted singing TJ,
a vessel to the same great abilities that Yaira possesses, but it is completely unknown if she will ever truly have any control over them. Stefania's explosive rage fuels her unchecked powers. She has used her superhuman strength to break out of cuffs and take considerable amounts of damage. She took a direct hit from Yaira like a champ. Why did you put it right there? Where you going to put it? She took a direct hit.
Missed opportunity.
That was meant to be a death blow.
Yeah, to kill her. Some training could hone that killer instinct she developed as a criminal on the streets. I mean, every time he has a chance to throw something in, it's like, oh, that's funny. Like,
just learn to laugh at yourself.
All right, here comes the last one, Eltona. Nice. This is really bad.
Oh shit!
It looks like she has a giant boot on, like this shadowing.
Yeah.
Why would you do this?
Yeah, one thigh high boot.
Nice cleavage though. Points for cleavage.
I don't know. It looks weird because you got this.
Yeah, the jacket.
This looks like a boob, but then also this looks like a boob.
It's actually has 4 boobs.
Yeah, he's got boobs on top of boobs. I don't know. Maybe that's a good thing. She's got boobs on top of boobs.
There's more boobs.
You like your boobs.
There's more boobs. Her hair changed again too.
Yeah. All right. I think there's the last card, right? No, there's another one. Damn, there's a goodie card.
Oh my god.
All right, Eltona Daniels. Real name, Eltona Daniels. Height 5'7", 130. First appearance, ISOM number 1.
Also, I would say, couldn't you have put like real name Eltona Stillman? Right?
Yeah.
Like that could
married. Dokuman respects the sanctity of marriage. He would never. While not an except herself, Eltona Daniels is of great interest to me as she is the sister of Avery Silman. Why isn't there what the hell's the kid's name? It should be one of those cards too, right? Because she's the daughter of Eltona, the niece of Avery. The except known to me as Isom, who she seems to call in to aid her. Whom she seems to like. You don't know. You're not sure. Like I think.
I don't know.
Wasn't paying attention to the phone call.
I didn't tap the phone lines.
Yeah, the phone line broke up a little. I kind of think that's what happened, but not really sure. It boggles the mind that someone submitted this and they read it and they went, "Yep, this flies. This checks out." However, it is unclear to what degree she's aware of his extracurricular activities or how much she knows about her own family history.
There's past there. There's lore.
Oh god, are we gonna find out that like her dad was a superhero or something?
They're descended from Yaira.
Oh shit!
Despite being human, she shows exceptional character and strength of will. Eltona carries a position of significant importance at the corporation Projexis, a powerful company in Floor Spark, at the forefront of innovation and technology. Yes, we got that the first time you talked about it. The cards all come together. It's not like, okay, this would make sense if the cards were separate, right? Like you had to collect them. So you're like, oh,
Yeah,
you
like
might not get the Lincoln card. So you're like, oh shit.
Each
Oh,
purchase, you got a pack of like a couple.
Yeah. Behind her strong exterior, I see she still carries the recent loss of her husband. That's not how you write sentences, Dokuman. Behind her strong exterior, she still carries the recent loss of her husband. You don't need the IC because that's not how the sentence would carry on. Behind her strong exterior,
you're the one writing this. Of course, you see everything.
You're giving me your observations. I know you see. Or I see behind her strong exterior that she still carries the recent loss of her husband, Terrell, as she raises her young child, Vassie, who is also becoming of interest to me. There's a Vassie card in the next set, guaranteed. Also, why is every sentence like 40 words long?
It's all like, I'm interested about this. Like, it's all like every other sentence is interesting.
Will she take after her mother or grandmother? I don't know who those people are.
So, but yeah, Vassie. So then.
Oh, that's where Vassie. Okay, so will Vassie? I'm reading an Eltona card, so I thought this was Eltona again. Will she take after her mother or grandmother? But her like again, why are you mentioning the grandmother unless the grandmother did something?
The history of the family. There's grandmother was something. Grandmother.
Oh yeah, because what a fascinating family. There is more here to learn. Thank you, Dokuman, for being excited. He's like, there's more here to learn.
Buy my next batch of cards.
Yeah, is Dokuman just like a card hustler in this universe? He's like, man, these humans will buy anything. I've been selling these cards with vague things about people on them.
Yeah, so it's like the mom then has some type of something.
Dokuman needs a beta reader and an editor. Yeah. Will she put on her left shoe first or her right one?
See what it is the grandmother has all the powers, and that's where Isom gets his powers from because Eric was raised by his grandmother. You see, and he put her, and she's the key to everything.
Some of these S's look too big. Like they look like capitals.
I think we're losing it. We're getting like highway hypnosis or something. We're getting like
probably power observation. A brilliant scientist, a physicist. Okay, you know physicists are scientists, right? Like scientist is not really a thing. Like maybe if this was like 1960s, you're like he's a scientist. You know, he does science shit. You're just kind of vague about it. Like yeah, you know, like what is Bruce Banner? Bruce Banner is a gamma physicist, right? He's a nuclear physicist that specializes in gamma radiation. What's Hank Pym? Hank Pym's a scientist. What does he do? Everything, because he's a scientist. Reed Richards is also a scientist who does science, right? You can't go vague and specific. Peter Parker, scientist. Doc Ock, scientist. See, they can just do whatever we need them to do because they're scientists. Do not let her size fool you. She was a star soccer athlete for FBU. Okay, this also doesn't make sense. Okay? Are soccer players known to be like big and aggressive? No. Right? Like she was a star football player.
I don't know about you.
No, but what I'm saying is like he's like, do not let her size fool you. She was a star soccer athlete. Well, her size wouldn't fool me. Like, but she's a star football player. Like, oh yeah, I thought she was this little tiny chick, but turns out she's a wide receiver for the Denver Broncos. Like, oh, mind blown, right? Like, oh,
ironically, soccer, just like Eric, involves the tiniest little touch, and you freak out and act like you got hurt really hard, so that the ref throws the yellow card or red card to the other team. Yeah, you gotta flop. Because it's like Eric.
Now she is the chief technology officer for Projexis, which puts the company's resources at her fingertips. She is not the one who is easily fooled. She's not one who is easily fooled and should not be dismissed. Wow. We got one more card, and then I'm going to go start my shotgun.
Yeah.
The best for last.
We'll all go out.
The goober.
Oh, shit. Okay. The G's. Small
G's again.
Yeah.
So that's a choice.
It's a retarded choice. They don't have a regular G. Is that what it is? Not a regular G?
To not use capital G's.
No, we've seen others with the capital G's.
Have we?
Yeah. Let me see. Hold on. We gotta go through Shadrin. There's no G's there. Sydney doesn't have a G in her name.
Oh, you might be right.
Samford Willard, no G's. Lincoln Eusebio, no G's.
No G's. Oh wow, so the G really is looking like a small G.
And Gelvin is the only G.
Yeah, there you
Gelvin
go.
Started it when we noticed.
Billy Bob, no G. Mick Davies, no G. Stefania don't got a G. Eltona's no G's. So yeah, I guess the G's are just retarded.
Yeah.
In that font. That's weird.
Because
then why
this
font
looking like Leatherface. Look at this shit.
But he's got like his eye here, and like he looks like retarded, like cross-eyed. It's Brandon. They're like, Brandon, we need you to stand here for this drawing. Okay, both.
Hey,
real name: Tato Gooding, height 5'11", weight 100. Man, Gooding's a fat ass. Gooding's 195 pounds.
Oh.
Birthplace: Florida Spark.
Also shape and white.
First appearance: ISO number 2. All right. Why does the card look different? It's just
we're losing it.
I think this one's just more focused. Like the picture he took is just better. A hero for the common person during super-powered uncertain times, or an opportunistic businessman with a flair for invention? Question mark. Gooding is the name and the man behind the full-service. Gooding is the name and the man behind the full-service neighborhood future tech company. Gooding, he named his company Gooding. That's the name of the company. Gooding creates and maintains all the robotics that army his various services. I've never heard army used that way.
Oh my goodness!
Like run or work or make up.
Build. Yeah, make up.
Make it make sense.
From home security to full-on automated militia. Wow, he just has a fucking robotic militia service. Anything to make you and your loved ones feel safe. I wonder if working with one of his own creations has affected his bedside manner, or if he has always seemed more comfortable with machines than people. He does not seem to be in Floorspark out of the kindness of his heart, but his unique skill set hints at a richer, more complicated history. He could be an except or simply one of the most exceptionally gifted people at his craft. A dedicated investigator, Gooding guarantees, once hired, to solve the problem with his specialized equipment. If he doesn't have the tool to do the job, he'll create it. Is he like offering sex services? Because he's like, hey,
this drone
I'm
here
dedicated.
Is a fleshlight drone.
Yeah. Once hired, I will solve your problem with my specialized equipment. Oh yeah. And if I don't have the tool for the job, I'll help you create it.
If I hired him to get me laid, it's like, well,
he'll make you a sex robot.
Like, don't count, Gooding. Robot.
Man, Gooding is a robot master. He's an investigator, and he's like a medicine man because he's a master craftsman when it comes to robotics and medicine. Those are wildly different specializations, right? Robotic engineering is completely fucking different from medicinal creation, right? But apparently, he can do both. Everyone in this world is super fucking at everything. His robots come in a variety of skill sets and designs, from aerial drones to dog-like sentinels that roam the earth. They roam the earth. He just has dog sentinels roaming the earth, not Texas, not Floorspark, but the
all over the place.
Yeah, they're just out there in the wild. His machinery and arsenal. Ethics, a breach of treaties between governments.
Yeah.
His machinery and arsenal are at the next level. Compared to what? What the next? Whatever.
A phone.
He's constantly improving his creations. Don't make it make sense. It is hard to tell if it is perfectionism or obsession. Perhaps it's both. He creates healing tonics and uses his advanced medical equipment to save lives, healing the kinds of injuries excepts can easily cause. 21 cards, or 21, the 21 card, 21st card. And now it sounds like Dokuman, not knowing how to.
21 reasons why.